Hi everybody in the vinyl community, John back again. This is going to be the second episode of my series of showing my hard rock records in my collection. Short summary, so 10 years ago I separated my heavy metal records out from my main collection to make space, and because I didn't really listen to them very much anymore. And there were a few artists and bands that could have gone with those heavy metal records, but they didn't, and I kept them because I felt they still have a place in my main collection. So I've gone through my heavy metal records, episodes 1 to 20, done that. Now I'm looking at the ones that didn't make it or that were left in because they're hard rock and not really heavy metal. I've shown in my first episode AC/DC and Aerosmith. The next artist along alphabetically is Alice Cooper. Anyway, to start off, the first two Alice Cooper albums I don't have. Actually, I don't have the first three, but the first two are important because although I don't have them, I do have this rather fine tufa. I believe this was only released in the UK. I don't think this really received a US release. And basically this came out after the band had sort of split, and Alice Cooper had sort of assumed the name for himself. This was released just to sort of, fill people in on, this is some of the earlier work that perhaps you may not have heard before. So it's quite an interesting gatefold sleeve, and here is the inside of that. So record 1 is the first album, record 2 is the second album. Actually, I'm playing record 2 now, so it's pretty good. It's called Easy Action. So I don't have the third one, so I really should have it. So that's one of the ones that I'm thinking about maybe investing in. Don't see it in the wild. Anyway, what I do have is the fourth album, Killer. And these sort of early albums that the band released are really good because they've got these kind of gimmick covers. You see that? This is, I'm always really worried about this because it's got a split there. It could easily tear off, and I don't want to tear it. But it basically is calendar. See that? Be very careful how I handle these. It's the calendar for 1972. This seems to be a really popular album with Alice Cooper fans. So I want a boss. There you go. In fact, many seem to hold it as perhaps the best album, at least the best of the band. I like it, don't get me wrong, and this isn't a ranking video, I was just showing you. I like it, perhaps not as much as some that I'm going to come to. Now the next album released after that, I've got 2 copies of this, I'll show you the nicest one I think, is Schools Out. Schools Out again had a very nice sort of gimmick sleeve in the shape of a desk that opens up. I don't have one with the paper panties, unfortunately. Paper panties on the inside of this, but I just have a couple of copies of this album without the paper panties. There you go. I think I like this much more than Killers. It's a it's a really cool album. You know, it's got that track, School's Out, and for summer, and you know, it's iconic. It has that kind of raucous feel to it. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're both good. But here's my other one. So now, the next album they released was Billion Dollar Babies. This is one that I picked up from a jumble sale in the early to mid 80s. Got its $1 billion note there inside, lovely condition. I didn't pay anything more than, I don't know, a few pence for this when I picked it up. I'm very fortunate to have it in a sleeve. I mean, they really did do a good job of the gimmick sleeves. Again, Warner Brothers, there you go. I like this album too. I think I like this better than Killers. Pretty good stuff. So that's Billion Dollar Babies. The next one I'm going to show is one that I picked up in recent years, maybe what, 2 or 3 years ago, I suppose. It's the next one called Muscle of Love. So it comes in this cardboard box. You know, I remember when I discovered this, when I found it, I stumbled upon it in a shop in a small town called Cowbridge, close to where I live. And I realised I'd never even heard of this album before. And I surmised that it's because it's in this cardboard box. I mean, you kind of see past cardboard, don't you? If this was in a pile of pizza boxes on the floor, you wouldn't give it a second glance. And I think I must have seen past this record so many times in my life until I finally stumbled upon this in sort of, you know, in amongst some records in an antiques mall. And when I found it, I thought, well, brilliant, I've got to have that. So again, it's another one of these gimmick sleeves. Comes with this sort of insert. This inner sleeve has seen better days. And the record. So this one is on that label. Like I said, this one's relatively new to me, so it's good. It's just not a bad record. I will say that watching people discuss these records online, this one doesn't get so much love. I think maybe there was a feeling that the band was sort of coming towards its end now. And so the album that I have after that, which is the album that came directly after that, is the sort of the big favourite one called Welcome to My Nightmare. I had this a long time ago in my younger days, picked it up at a car boot sale, and I lent it to a friend, and then I never seemed to get it back. So this is one that I've got to, I think I probably ordered off Discogs sometime in the last 10 years, just because I wanted to have a copy of it in my collection, and I didn't ever see that my old one was ever going to find its way back to me. This one seems to be a really popular album. A lot of people hold it up very high. Some Anchor label. What do I think of it? I've probably got to spend a little bit more time with it. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it as much as other people seem to sort of like it. And then there was a whole bunch of releases that Alice Cooper did after that. Apparently he went in and did some sort of weird kind of new wave kind of stuff. And then there was a tinge of sort of metal flirtation in the 80s. I missed out all of that. I don't have any of that, not even on CD or cassette. The next one I do have is this, Raise Your Fist and Yell. And this is one that I picked up in Sweden. And I lived there. The inner sleeve. So yeah, why didn't I put this away with the other heavy metal records? Well, I guess because although Alice Cooper obviously had a huge influence and impact on heavy metal, I don't think really you'd describe what they do as heavy metal. So that's why I kind of kept Alice Cooper records in my collection, because I felt they belonged there, and I didn't really want to sort of push them aside with the heavy metal records, which I didn't really pay any attention to for a few years. And yeah, that's why I keep it here in the shelf up there in A after Aerosmith. And the most recent one I have in my collection, and the last one that I'm going to show today, is this. I remember when this came out. There was a particular person, I can't remember his name right now. It's the inner sleeve, it's just sort of lyrics, liner notes. There was a particular person who is on Epic, who is responsible for sort of reinventing or rebooting the careers of a whole host of artists from the 70s, and he repackaged them, I guess, for the 80s. And I know that person, I can't think of his name right now, I'll put it up here. He was responsible for a large part for Alice Cooper sort of finding a place in the 80s market with this, along with a few other people that he helped in the same way. Okay, so that's my last Alice Cooper album. I've got one, The Last Temptation, on cassette, I think I bought many years ago. But otherwise I don't have an awful lot more. I can't think I actually have anything else by Alice Cooper. So that's my Alice Cooper records. Thank you very much for watching. There's another band that I could have included in this video, but they're kind of a big band, and I feel that they have the right to have their own videos, so I'm not going to merge them in with Alice Cooper. But I will talk about them in the next episode of this series coming soon. So thanks very much everybody for watching. Hope everyone's doing well. Check out my next video. Bye.